Hello? Test, 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 test. Ow. Hi. Hello. Hello. Oh, why can't I say hello normal style? I think I always say good morning, but maybe it's not the morning now. Sometimes time changes. Today, we're doing a Q&A, which honestly, I have not ever wanted to do because it makes me feel like too much of a narcissist. But you know what? Here we are. I feel like I also jump around so much in videos that I feel like I probably leave a lot of questions, I don't know, or stuff I like never circle back on or answer. So I'm gonna circle back on some things today. Gonna answer a few design questions, but more personal stuff, work stuff, opinions, just me running my mouth is what this is gonna be. So I posted on Instagram a questionnaire, or a questions thing, and I just pulled a bunch of questions. Here they are, here they are. You guys, I'm on the floor. Today's video is made possible by Wayfair, and you're saying, Caroline, dang it, we know you like Wayfair. Shush it up. I won't, I can't be stopped. Wayfair is sponsoring this YouTube channel all month long, but what you don't know is that they also have a YouTube channel, and they have this very cool series coming out. I was just watching Interior Motives with an interior designer, Kiva Brent. The episode I'm gonna show you a peek of today is all about getting your pantry clean and organized, pantry organization.
You can't stop buying in bulk and your pantry is a full-blown nightmare. Now you have a pantry that is better organized than the store you bought the food from.
The episode is done in this like very irreverent way with overly specific topics, but also using real Wayfair product recommendations to actually get organized in your home. There's nothing you're not gonna love about it. I know a lot of people on my channel are really interested in organization, and it's just like a very fun way to consume design recommendations and content. The Wayfair YouTube channel also has another show called The Small Stuff, which is adorable. It's my favorite. It's with this kind of bumbling DIY home improvement dad and his real kids and his family, and he's figuring out different projects in the house while also sharing insights about family dynamics. It's just super sweet. So go check out Interior Motives. Subscribe to the Wayfair YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date. You know how subscribing works. You get it. And I've included a link to the episode in the description of this video. So you don't gotta do nothing. The work is done for you. And thank you to Wayfair for sponsoring today's video. Favorite TV show or podcast? Okay. I don't know if I can name a favorite, but I'll name some I'm enjoying recently. Podcast I love right now is Naked Beauty with Brooke Devard. It's like a beauty podcast. She's a really good interviewer, and she has all different kinds of guests on who have different perspectives on the beauty industry. She has influencers on and some celebrities, but she also has people who like work in beauty industry, like legislation and lobbying. One fascinating episode, excuse you, no honking. It's a very well done podcast, and I feel like nobody else approaches the beauty conversation with so many like different interesting perspectives. So I'm loving that podcast. Favorite TV show? I don't know if I could say a favorite TV show, but a show that I think is super underrated. I don't know if I know anyone else who has watched this show, but there's a show, I think it's on HBO. It's called Getting On. It's canceled now. It had maybe 2 seasons. I mean, it resonates with me so much because it's dark comedy. It's very dark, but it is also extremely funny. I don't know if you ever watched Reno 911, but Niecy Nash is on it, and she's like the main character. She's one of my favorite actresses. And Laurie Metcalf, who's one of my favorite comedians. It can be kind of depressing, but it's like one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. It's one of the best mixes of comedy and drama. It's just some of the best acting, and it's very dark and very funny. That's one of my favorite shows. Okay, moving on. Already talking too much. Where do you shop for clothes? You always look so cute, and the clothes look quality. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Okay, I will take this as a compliment on my growth. I was a waitress forever. Like I've never had money. I was always thrifting stuff, and I do still like thrifting for finding unique pieces, but I also found that by like thrifting and always buying cheap stuff, I was acquiring a ton of items that were all low quality, and I never liked wearing any of them that much. So I did a big closet clean out the other day. I got rid of so much stuff and decided to then go and buy like, I think I bought like 8 quality items for fall. Like I got this sweater, dude, this is like a knit sweater. I'm stoked about this sweater. Look how cute this is. My mom was laughing at me because she was like, this is just something I would have worn in the 80s. But this is from Shop Bop. I feel like I'm not really on the style game. I'm pretty behind the times. I liked Reformation recently. Again, all of these are expensive, but I feel like if I buy like one sweater from Reformation, I will wear it all the time and love it and feel good in it. And then I don't have 20 sweaters that are all kind of falling apart and I barely want to wear any of them. And altogether, they probably cost more anyway. So that's my approach recently. Pants, like these are jeans I've had forever. I got them from Topshop. I find it really hard to buy pants and stuff. I feel like that fit all the parts of me. I got these jeans tailored, which is something I never do, but I've then kept them, I want to say almost like for 10 years or something, for a long time. So that felt very worth it to me. And then just investing in nice quality pieces. I feel like I'm very like late to this game of like trying to invest in nice pieces. But that is my approach right now. Trying not to be such a people pleaser. Any tips? Nope, no tips. Let me know what if you figure it out, let me know. One thing that's something I really struggle with, I had like one revelation in therapy the other day where my therapist was like, it's okay to disappoint people. In fact, it is completely necessary. There are too many people in everyone's life asking things of everyone all the time. You have to disappoint people. And that blew my mind. It's funny because in a way it's obvious, in a way it seems like just like the natural consequence of setting boundaries. Like we all believe in setting boundaries. And by setting boundaries, you will sometimes not give people the thing that they would like to have from you. But somehow I never connected that. I always felt like if I disappointed someone, then I am a disappointment. Sometimes people just are gonna be mad at you because they don't get what they want from you. That is tough. That is really hard to like sit with. And recently I reached a point where I was so overtapped trying to do uphold all these different obligations or duties or like things I wanted to do for people even, and I just couldn't do it all. And it was to the point where I was not being able to show up like as a good friend or a good family member or a good anything. I will keep people pleasing no matter how much it deteriorates me. But the thing that snapped me was that like, it was like, oh, if you keep doing this, you're actually just gonna start hurting people because you're failing people. So that was the thing that snapped me out of it. It's like, realizing it actually wasn't an option to please everyone. I could either show up half-assed to a million relationships and feel bad about all of them and deteriorate myself, or I could stop trying to please everyone and like show up more fully to the things that really matter. Yeah, it's a tough one. People pleasing. That's something I struggle with, and the like, it's important to disappoint people, it's necessary. That was like a helpful mantra to me. Also, do you guys want to see my pillows? Look at my pillows. I got pillows for my new couch. Okay, I got this, Garnet Hill. I think this is Rejuvenation. It's like velvety, which I actually don't really like velvet, which is part of why I got rid of my velvet couch. I don't really like velvet, but a small amount I can tolerate. And then this guy, I think this was also Rejuvenation. So I went with the approach of like, I wanted to definitely bring like more color and saturation. It kind of carries on from the carpet. And then did 3 different patterns in scale: solid, big, stripe, checkered, mix, dark, and then like a medium saturation with like a more intricate pattern. I love them. Love them, love them. We're back. Okay, has anyone ever told you that you low-key sound like and give off Jennifer Aniston vibes? Never in my life, and have I ever heard that, but I get that comment all the time on YouTube now, all the time. I don't know why I get it now, and literally I've never heard that before in my life. I think I get the comment a lot about the voice or the cadence or something. So it makes me think like maybe people who've known me my whole life are used to my voice, so they don't identify it as sounding like Jennifer Aniston, but I get the Jennifer Aniston voice or cadence or mannerisms or something a lot. I love that bitch. I will say I love that. I love it. And sometimes people are like, I mean this as a compliment. Bitch, I took it as a compliment. Don't worry. Okay, how did your fam get to be so close? That's a freaking lol. We have, can I say this? Yeah, we've like shared trauma. I don't use that word lightly. Shared trauma with a capital T that could have pushed us all apart, but it brought us closer together. And that is why my family is very close. Yep, not something I can get into details on. I get the comment of like, oh, your family is so ideal and so happy. Like, nope, we're a regular family. We're a regular family. We are incredibly close. We, I think, have very intense love for each other and really care about each other. Like, that is true. And also, like, the darkness just won't ever be on the internet because it's my family and it's their privacy. So don't worry, we are a multifaceted, three-dimensional family with with lots of secrets. Would you ever get a dog? Did. Had a dog with my ex, and that dog is in Ohio now. Will never get a dog again. I love dogs, but I certainly have no time to care for a dog. I feel like I barely have time to like see people or sleep. There's absolutely no way. I would never want to get a dog. I would have to neglect the dog. There's no time, absolutely no time. Taking care of a dog is a lot of work. It's a whole hobby. I don't have time for a new hobby. That's why I won't be getting a dog. I actually am afraid of falling in love with someone who has a dog because I'm like, I can't. That's best of luck. I don't know if I'll be very involved. Are you happy? I am right now. I do strongly feel that happiness is not something to be pursued. I don't know, my therapist talks a lot about being well. Like, you can try to be well through anything. You can't, like, happiness, I don't know, it's just something that's not really in your control. Tragedy and negative stuff is gonna happen in your life, and if your goal is to be happy, like, well, you're shit out of luck when people start dying or you get laid off or you go through heartbreak, whatever it is. But you can still be well through all of those things. You can be well and you can be grounded and like in yourself, even when you're mourning, even when you're sad, even when you're depressed. So trying to be well kind of through the multi-dimensional spectrum of life's experiences. But right now I'm happy. Will it last? Probably not. Recs for stylish flush mounts to replace a boob light. I don't have specific recs. I mean, it depends on your space. Shades of Light. I get a lot of lighting fixtures from Shades of Light. I think they have some reasonable prices. If you want to go pricier, Rejuvenation. I love pretty much from everything from Rejuvenation, but it's definitely pricier. And what's the other one I like? School. Okay, lighting. School. Is it Schoolhouse Eclectic? I can find what it's called. Doesn't matter. Those are two I like right now. Is my brother single? He is. Get it. Go get it. What drove you to start your channel? Basically, I started my channel 2 years ago. It was in COVID. I was working remotely in a new state, having a really hard time meeting people in a very restrictive relationship. Was spending more and more of my time alone. Ever since I had quit my first career, which was as an actor. I was an actor for like almost a decade. Ever since I quit that was so painful. Had been the dream for like, you know, like 15 years. And it was so painful for me to feel like a failure in that and to quit it that I really couldn't watch TV. I couldn't watch movies. I couldn't handle watching anything with acting in it. So I would watch documentaries and I would watch YouTube. I started watching a lot of YouTube. We were living in this house. I was decorating the house. I started watching, you know, Lone Fox and Rachel Metz, and I was watching them for a while and I was just like, I feel like I could do this. I feel like I could do it, maybe. I don't know. I definitely needed a hobby. I've always been like a crafty person. Definitely felt like I could do like the performative camera part. Started out doing room makeovers. I just really needed something to do. And I felt like I had nothing to lose. I felt like I literally had like very little in my life that was feeding me at that point. I had already given up on like my dream, whatever. That was dead, which was a total freedom, really. It allowed me to like take risks on other things. I was like living a life that felt like very starved of any kind of fulfillment, and I needed something to be engaged with, so I just started doing it. That was the one thing I'll say about like having your dream die. It gives you a lot of freedom. I at least don't feel that I'm actually very good at predicting the things that will make me happy in life. When that career like fully like was put to rest for me, this sounds traumatic, but it literally felt like kind of like I was dead. Not dead like in my soul, but like that just nothing mattered anymore, that there weren't really any consequences. I kind of felt like a ghost like walking around on earth, and I could kind of just do whatever and it didn't matter. I felt like I was like in a video game and like I don't know, I'll start a YouTube channel, who cares? I'll just have an interior design business, like who cares? Doesn't matter. I already didn't get the thing I wanted, like what, who cares? So it really like, I think released me from this very fearful person that I was and let me actually just do things because I was interested in them. Lol. How did you get your I'll just be me, who cares attitude? I feel like that's pretty related. I actually got a lot of questions about that. Like, where'd you get your confidence? I do not feel like a confident person. There's things I'm confident about. Like, I think I feel very confident in YouTube. It feels like the first place where my personality kind of makes sense. And the I'll just be me, who cares attitude, I just have a big mouth. I pretty much have always kind of said what I think to a point where it's a problem a lot. It happens to work on YouTube, but it's hard for me to not say what I think. I don't not hate myself for it. I do also hate myself for it, but it's like out of my control sometimes, or feels out of my control. I don't know. What do you like most about yourself? A tiny bit of narcissism can be a good thing. Lol. I think like most people, I'm a mix of total egotism and total self-hatred. If this is a physical question, it's my hands. I don't know why. I love hands, and I actually do like my hands. I guess if that is not a question about what I like about myself non-physically, I don't even know. I feel like all the things that are good about me, I also kind of hate them. I don't know. I think one thing I feel consistently proud of myself for is that I think I'm very like resilient and resourceful. I'm very optimistic. I think I'm a lot like my mom that way. You deal me a terrible blow, I will feel sad and I will immediately find like the opportunity in it, the way I can benefit from it, and like how to move forward. Like I won't stop. So I think that's one thing I like about myself. It's not toxic positivity, like I hate that, but just like when shit happens and these are the facts, I feel like I can always genuinely find the way that I'm excited to move forward. So I think that's a good one. Please make a list of resources that you use to educate yourself for interior design. The best thing I did getting into interior design was very organic. Like I just started decorating my own spaces. I watched a lot of YouTube. The most important thing was decorating my own space, and the stuff I did sucked. And then you slowly learn like why one thing failed or why one thing didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to. You have to do it in your space. You have to get in there and get your hands dirty. You can't learn it all. It's like the difference of studying something in school versus like learning on the job or whatever. In addition, I loved Emily Henderson's content, her website, her blog. I felt like that was just like a very accessible entry point. Just the way she spoke about design principles, I feel like applies to any style. You're exposed to so much. I would definitely start there. I look at Domino Mag. I follow designers that I love. My Instagram is almost all design content. And just start doing stuff in your home, and it's gonna suck at first, and that means you're starting. Tell us how your family ended up in Germany. My dad was in the military. Hello. My dad was in the military, so they lived in Germany, Washington State, where I was born, and then back to Germany, and then DC, and then he left the military. How did you navigate the breakup with your ex? I feel terrified of breaking up, divorcing. I got a lot of questions about breakups and divorces. I mean, I can speak with a lot of like peace about it now, but I didn't have that at the time. It was terror. It wasn't like the worst thing that was happening, because I'd been through a ton of breakups, and I felt like I did have peace knowing that there were no other options, but it was terrifying. I was giving up everything, and a person I was still very much in love with, and a person who was still very much in love with me. So that felt really hard to walk away from. But you talk to anyone, like I won't be the first person to say that love is not enough. Love is not nearly enough for a relationship to make a relationship work. But I feel like the most important thing now is like the people that you can love and also have conflict with in a healthy way. You're gonna have conflict, and if you can't deal with that in a relationship, then I don't want to be involved. The thing that helped me in that breakup was knowing absolutely to my core that I'd seen it, that relationship, I'd seen it as far down the road as it could ever go. We both had, like we both did our most. There was nothing to be like, oh, I wish I'd tried this. Or at least not for me. I can't speak for him, I guess. But I had peace in that. I was like, I have nothing left to give here. It's really tough. How do you get sponsored? Do you reach out, or do companies reach out to you? So I work with a company, they reached out to me. This company, they're like a brand management company, and they are not my manager. They do not tell me what to do. I do not owe them anything. They will never ever tell me what to make on my channel. I think some people have managers who are like very involved in their content. Absolutely freaking not. I'm here because I am my own boss and I report to no one. But this management company, they just do the brand deals and all the contract negotiations, which I am not skilled at. And so I will either tell them brands that I'm really interested in, brands that I like, and they will go and reach out to them. Or they will sometimes bring me brands, be like, this brand wants to work with you, do you like them? And I can say yes or no. That's how it works. Yeah. How do you balance so much work and projects and not get burnout? Prevention, relax. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm still figuring that out all the time. Such a complicated question. Ooh, so many things I could say about it. Okay. Number one, I'll say when I was acting, that was like a passion career, right? At the time. And I pursued that so relentlessly and giving myself so little break. And all of my friend actors did the same thing. Like, worked so hard. You could never afford to take a break. You could never afford to give yourself slack because it was so competitive. In pursuing it that way, I eventually just killed all of the joy. I killed all the passion to the point where I hated it. I dreaded getting an audition. I dreaded hearing that I had a callback. I dreaded even having a job. That's when I eventually quit. That being said, I feel very protective of like preserving my energy and the passions I do have now. And I never want to pursue something to the point of exhaustion, to the point that I kill it, because I already did that. It is really important to recharge. I feel like two things. The biggest piece of advice I could say is A, pinpointing where you are comfortable slacking off. I feel like there's certain areas in my life that I'm like, even as a perfectionist, I now know like I can't do everything 150%. I feel like I do YouTube 150%. I work so hard at YouTube, and other things, I will cut corners. I will slack off because it really doesn't benefit me to do 150%. So identifying like where it's okay to not get straight A's is a huge part of being an adult, I think. And then it's hard for me to take time off. That's something I'm struggling with. If I have nothing to do on a Sunday, sometimes I'll just start editing if I'm not being intentional. And so one thing I try to do is be like, nope, this is Sunday. I don't have to work today. I have enough days in my week coming up to work. I'm gonna take the time to just be fucking bored today. And that's so important, and it actually builds up creative energy and it builds up motivation for when you do start your work week, instead of just like constantly burning the candle. I feel like the hardest thing with YouTube is that it is creative. For me, it's like a very creative thing, and I never wanna be just like going through the motions, and it is hard to pump out creativity week after week after week. Like, you need recharge, you need downtime. I will probably eventually be taking some time off so that I don't burn out, but I haven't really figured out how to do that yet with YouTube. So we'll see. What's your workout routine? It's freaking nothing right now. I think I've worked out like twice in the last 5 months since I tore my meniscus. I had my knee surgery, if you're new here. I used to work out every day, all the time, love it. I've done every workout genre on the face of the earth. Most recently, I was just running and doing like strength training. I really enjoy those. But I have lost all momentum. I've lost all motivation because I've been out of it for so long. I've lost pretty much all the muscle I ever had. I can barely run. I get winded. Like, I'm starting from scratch. I'm gonna pick it up again. But I think I might like do a video around it because I will literally be starting from scratch, and maybe there's something there that like I can share and explore with everybody. I've been doing physical therapy, getting back on it. That is coming. I've been talking too long. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Woo! There are a lot more questions. Maybe I'll do another one of these in the future if you guys enjoyed it. I don't know. Tired of the sound of my own voice right now. I appreciate you guys so much. Leave questions if you have more questions. I'll probably do another Q&A at some point, because this is a fun, like, cozy, low-key kind of day film. Okay, y'all, have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.